Ah, uh, hi, hello. Hi there, you two. You two seem new, Mr. or Mrs. Saint and Mr. and or Mrs. Zeller. I'm gonna call you Celery. Hi, hi, everyone. Hello, welcome in. I am Saltea Kichee, the local virtual baker and AI assistant. Hi, hello. I realized I was really big there for a second. Hi. It felt good to be big for once. My god, I'm always so small, always so short-handed, all that sort of stuff. Well. But hi, hello. How are y'all doing today? I hope you've all been having a great day so far. I will let you all know because I don't want to put the wool over your eyes here, and I'm just gonna tell you the dead honest truth right now. Today is pretty much just a Zatsu day in a weird roundabout way. I'm gonna just tell you straight. It's a Zatsu day, but it's an interesting Zatsu day because yesterday I've accomplished something that set something in the motion of like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna start really pushing on this idea since it seems to be working. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about that, and also I want to show you some funny little things I've been making. I've been posting a whole lot of these on the Twitter sphere, but like, remember back in the time of when I was doing a lot of like these things, a lot of these creatures and whatnot? Yeah, I've been making more of them. They're great. They're goofy and silly. I love them. The yippies, yeah. They're goofy little guys. I love them. I'm gonna put Ida here, just because I need some family support, if you will, I guess. And I guess it also does involve, a part of stream does involve her. Because today's stream we are talking about, well, making VTubers into Bred. I'm pretty sure you can all read the title. I'm pretty sure you didn't need me to tell you that. But hey, introductions. So, fun stuff has happened. A great success has been achieved. And, well, I think I'm ready to start moving in with the idea, I suppose. So let me just really quickly grab some last minute pictures here. And also give y'all a bit of insight too, because I'm pretty sure the whole lot of you do know. I do have a recipe book, you know. Hi Berghoff, hello. I do have a recipe book. It's not really a book. It's more so, what is it? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to call it. A booklet? Online booklet? Because it's not like an official book just yet. But it is a, what is it? It's essentially just a little document I have, a Google Doc. Or I guess how the kids now call it, a Google Docie. Of all the breads that I've created, made, or remixed from some sort of website. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about that, and I actually have one thing to show you that involves that. Let me really quickly bring up the thing. Alright, here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is the Google Doc of the bread, and I've already executed one bread recipe. If you want to check out these recipes, if you're on YouTube, it's in the description. It's in the description of all my videos. Fun fact. Well, actually, yeah, it is all my videos, and it is also all of my whatchamacallit. It's also in all of my streams. It's in the description of all whatever you're watching. And also, if you're on Twitch, there is if you go to my about, there is the recipe booklet. This is where my recipes are. But this fun little thing right here, as you can see, is the first recipe that is inspired off a VTuber. This is kind of fun because this was the second try, and the second try it turned out to be was actually quite nice. Hold on, let me see. You see this right here? It's a little toasty, but that's good for me and good for you guys because I now know the perfect time and temperatures, so you guys can have a not so toasty looking bread. Unless you want a toasty bread, then hey, good for you. But this is what that bread looks like. It is a vanilla bean milk bread sourdough, or a vanilla bean sourdough milk bread, kind of interchangeable. But this is inspired off my good friend, good VTuber friend, and etc., Miss Minna Vanilla. If you need some sort of visual stimuli, this is her. He is a goofy little goober, let me tell you, great lass all around. But I was inspired. I've been inspired to make bread, VTubers into bread for quite some time. But I haven't really gotten around to getting the motivation to bake breads off them. And also just because I kind of felt like I lacked, not the resources, but I felt the recipes. So I didn't really want to instigate and jump on it because I thought like, oh, I'm gonna waste time if I know these recipes don't work. My sourdough recipe and milk bread recipe did require a lot of tinkering, but now I think they are both very suitable to what I want. If you look into the bread here, you can see little black specks. That is vanilla bean paste that I used for the milk bread here. But the crumb is very open and very fluffy. It was also very soft and delicious. And I had it for breakfast today. I had a orange marmalade, and I toasted this stuff in the morning and had a fried egg with it too. Great breakfast so far. It was very good. And for people that might think, oh, is this like sweet, like pound bread and whatnot? No. The reason why I thought like doing a vanilla-based bread was actually kind of fine is that, you know what, a bread that everyone really likes to eat, but does kind of see as a treat, but it isn't really like a cake or anything. Cinnamon raisin bread. Everyone likes cinnamon. A lot of people like cinnamon raisin bread. So well, I thought that a vanilla sourdough milk bread would work very well, and it did turn very well. It's like a nice love child between a pound bread and a white bread. It hits that nice in between of like, it's fluffy, it's soft, it's delicious. You can put this on like any sort of bread, but it definitely hits that part of like, there is a touch of sweetness, but it's not like sweet in the thing of like sugar and like cake. It's actually sweet because that familiarity with that taste of vanilla kind of makes you think of like, oh yeah, this kind of feels like a dessert, but it's not dessert enough to be passable into like an actual dessert. And this bread is gonna be phenomenal for like your French toast, your next day things to eat on your own. It'd be even nice to have like if you get like if you know like the country roadhouse butter, like the honey butter. If you for some reason have the idea, if you have the ability or the what's the word? The not laziness, I can't think of the word right now, to make yourself a Texas Roadhouse butter and like a honey butter or something like that, that would work very phenomenally with this. Because it just has a lot of good tones of sweetness, vanilla flavor, and also for those that might think that, oh, the sour flavor might ruin it, I've done, with this recipe, with this variation, it was done with a overnight rest. And I was actually quite surprised, quite shocked to find out that there was sourness, but it was very subtle, which I found very intriguing because usually when I use sour starter and there is some sort of dairy product such as milk, it usually will sour a bit more. But with this, it was actually kind of more akin to like your like sour cream, your creme fraiche, like that kind of sour flavor. Like not exactly like sour, but like a pleasant sourness, like a fermented sort of flavor. and it was like almost like adding like a little bit of lemon to this sort of bread. It's kind of not sour, but adds a nice bit of refreshness with how the tartness kind of comes through. It's like a lovely, lovely mix of like white bread and pound cake without being too sweet to get into that category of cake. So yeah, that I was very excited, very happy about this outcome. It was a complete success in my head. So this bread is for you to all make. It has been tested twice. There might need to be a bit more testings, honestly. So keep it in mind that this is still kind of a work in progress. It has not been perfected, but it has been made enough with good enough and clear enough instructions of, hey, at least if you follow the directions to a T, you'll be able to make good bread. Texas toast? Isn't Texas toast just like thick sliced bread? To my knowledge, that's kind of is what Texas toast is, though, no? It's just really thickly sliced bread with a little bit of like butter and garlic and all that. Pick out the raisins, you have Swiss bread or Swiss toast. Is it really Swiss toast? That's interesting. I didn't actually know that. Oh, bread's final form being beer. I mean, is it? I don't think it uses the same grain exactly. I believe they do use a different like seed of wheat, but I guess in the broad sense, yeah, I guess that is true. But like bread, I think is a lot better than beer because you can just eat a lot of bread and not have a terminal addiction. So hey, bread gets a W in that regard, no? But hey, all that aside, I did actually go through the semantics to actually write down this recipe. And it's not too long, it's not too hard of a read. It does take quite a bit of time to make, I will admit. A minimum of 6 hours to 18 hours. So I hope you have some time on your hands here. There's a quick way of there's a fast way of doing it. If you do it the quick way, you skip the overnight and you just kind of let it proof up to doubling in size. So there's that. But there's also the long way, which is doing the overnight rest and all that whatnot. But any way around it, no matter how you speak of it, I'm very, very excited for this little thing because this is the first of many. And I wanted to kind of go on stream today and have you lads help me out brainstorming of VTubers that we should try and make into bread. I already have some ideas. I just remembered one of them right now, so I gotta hold on, I just gotta write this down. And I also, what is it? I do also plan on, what is it? What's the word? What am I trying to remember here? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a little drawing just to get some concept down because when it does come to trying to make these breads, I do want a visual, I guess, what's the word? A visual, not context, a visual thing to represent of like, oh yeah, this is what I do plan to make for this bread and that bread and this bread. But yeah, I definitely wanted to make Minna to be my first bread because Minna's a great friend. She's very sweet, very nice. And also, she's also the fellow breadhead that I feel has impacted me a lot. So I felt like it just feels right to pay homage to her. And also, I thought it'd be kind of a unique bread because it's sourdough, it's vanilla, and it's a milk bread, all combined into one sort of bread. But it's kind of weird because like it's a vanilla bread. Vanilla bread's not really something you would see in bread because it's more of a cake thing. But I think I've kind of gotten into that nice little lovely in between of like cake and bread with this. where it more or less leans to bread than to cake, but still has like those tones of, oh yeah, this is very cake-like because of the flavor. So yeah, yeah. Oh boy, that was a lot of talking. Dropped my bottle, my apologies. I just gotta... I know, the sounds, I understand, but trust me, I just have myself a water pitcher right next to me, and I am thirsty, and I want to drink some water, so get off my back. But hey, this is a good time to actually let you guys know. Hydration check, drink some water. Drink some water right now. Do it. Squeaky chair. Alright. So, Minna had... Oh yeah. So, fun thing about, I guess, this little page here. It's also going to be a nice little thing, because this does lead to, I'm gonna try and have it so like, oh hey, each bread, you get to see the picture of the VTuber and the bread. Like, how my normal recipes are, you'll see me, because hey, they're my recipes, the breads of how they would probably look like and all that whatnot, so you got this, you got that, blah blah blah. But yeah, we got Minna, she is the first, and now let's start to talk about some brainstorming ideas. Hi Kara, doing good, thank you for asking. We're talking about bread, and I'm just kind of talking about the success of Minna's bread. So, she turned into a lovely loaf of bread, and also, wow, I grammar well, thank you Google Doc. Anyways, let's bring up this silly app right here. And let's talk about some other VTubers, I suppose. Now, there are a lot of VTubers to where I already have some ideas for, so I'll be kind of like spitballing ideas. I'm a little biased, I will say. I'm going to be prioritizing my friends above other things. I might take requests from other VTubers eventually, but I want to start working on my pals first because I want to... I have no explanation, I just want to. So, I'm biased. Very biased, I guess. So I'm just going to be going with tubers and tubers that I feel are going to be very interesting kind of breads. Along with, what is it? Along with VTubers I think are going to be cool to make into breads, or I just feel inspired from some silly thing. So with all the VTubers I'm bringing up on the screen right now, you can probably get a good idea of who I'm going to possibly start with first. There's this thing, this weird creature, and if you don't know who she is, sorry. She is quite cool. You should watch them. You'd be kind of shocked if you don't know who they are. This VTuber is named Camilla, I think. I think that's how you say it, Camilla. So I'm gonna write these down as we go on and do our thing here. Camilla. She's a VTuber I watch occasionally. Unfortunately, I'm very stupid, and my attention span to watching VTubers is very, very short. But, this is definitely a tuber. What's the word? I watch occasionally, more so than most. When it comes to, like, oh, the big VTubers and all that whatnot, she's the one I watch the most. The humor is very much onto mine. She's also just a bit of a silly, goofy idiot, and I love her for that. And also, above all else, she kind of, the idea for her kind of bread really does inspire the same kind of thought process when it comes to making Minna's bread. Because when I tell you the idea for the bread, you're just gonna think like, what the hell? That sounds like you're gonna make cake again. But hear me out. I think it's gonna be really cool. So I think for Camilla, since she's a clown and like very baby-like, like a child, if you will, I want to do a funfetti strawberry swirl loaf. That's it. Is this bread based off their personality? I mean, it's gonna be based off a lot of things. It's gonna be based off their design, their character, their personality. It's gonna take pretty much in a culmination of all of their personality traits to try and make some sort of cohesive bread. So, for instance, for Camilla, she is a clown. Like, I think she's like a clown sort of thing. And she's also very goofy and silly and all that silly fun stuff. So when I think of silly fun and like clowns and all that stuff, I think of like confetti. I think of like fun stuff. I think of like silly little baby things. And she also is like a stupid little child. Lovingly. I'm not saying that to be mean. I mean, I don't know. She might think it's mean, but like also she would never watch this. No one would ever send her a clip or anything of this because like I have this lovely luxury of being too small for anyone to notice me. So I can talk all the smack I want to talk about her. I love Camilla though, so I don't know why I would talk smack other than that she's a little baby. But I think it'd be really cool to make a loaf of bread. So it's gonna be another sandwich bread ordeal, and it'd be kind of interesting to try and make a bread based off her, just because it just seems really weird. But hear me out on this. Essentially, the idea is that it's gonna be a very intense kind of bread to make, because you're gonna have to make two doughs, and if you don't know how to make like swirl based breads and stuff like that, essentially you got to get two different kinds of doughs, and then you kind of roll them upon themselves here. So then if you do that, you end up getting this like swirly effect of sorts. So actually, to be a bit more accurate, the loaf of bread I'm gonna make is probably gonna be more of a square, a lot like how Minna's is. So it's gonna probably possibly look more like this. And it's gonna have like a little bit of a swirl. It's almost gonna look like a silly little, what is it? Well, it's just gonna look like this more or less. But an interesting thing I don't know how this is gonna work, because it's a little bit of a baby child thing to add, but adding like sprinkles, because you can add sprinkles to bread and all that whatnot, although it would be kind of silly. But that's also precisely the point. She's a silly imp. I think she's also an imp. So I feel it'd be really funny to make this really like baby sounding bread for a little baby child, but still make it into a very delicious kind of bread instead of making it into cake. Because I don't know how to make cake recipes. That is too hard. However, when it comes to making bread, ooh, that's easy. And especially with making this, it would be very, very easy as well. But I'm also thinking of how the hell I'm gonna make this. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make two kinds. So what the thing? Okay, talk smack, or throw bread at her. I mean, why not both? I'll talk smack and then throw the piece of bread of her at herself. So I'm throwing her at herself. Yeah. Yeah, little baby girl, little silly clown, little imp baby. Ooh. But yeah. It's gonna be a fun loaf. It's gonna be a very challenging loaf, because unlike a lot of loaves I have made, they're usually very simple. They're just one kind of loaf. But this one's gonna be interesting, not because of the what is it? The sprinkles, which is gonna be really silly. But it's also gonna be interesting because I'm making essentially 2 doughs. But I think how it's gonna work is that I'm gonna make one recipe of like a dough and then cut it in half and then maybe get some like strawberry powder, because I 100% want to add strawberries, but like using fresh strawberries can be a bit pedantic. Because if you use fresh strawberries, you can have either a mixed bag of, oh, these are very watery, these aren't ripe, these are ripe. So getting dehydrated strawberries will actually be a lot easier. Not only that, but the dehydrated strawberries won't actually impact the recipe of this. Well, it just won't impact the recipe of this that much, because adding strawberries, fresh strawberries, if you blend that all together into like a jam or whatnot, you're gonna have to implement a different hydration percentage, and you gotta worry about sugar and all this sort of stuff. But if you use dehydrated strawberries and then you put that through a blender into like a very fine powder, it's almost just like adding like just almost like adding dye, like food coloring and stuff like that, but you'll still get that nice flavor of strawberry and hopefully that nice color of strawberry. I'm less looking for the flavor, I'm more or less looking for the color here. So the idea is that one dough is going to be, well, one dough is obviously going to be the normal recipe, but then halfway through, you're going to cut the recipe in half. Well, you're going to cut the dough in half, then you're going to add strawberry powder by either kneading it some more or mixing it again, and then you'll let them both rest, and then you're going to roll them out, and then you're going to shape them together so one's on top of the other, and then fold it into a nice little swirl, little loaf here, and then you'll have all that sort of stuff, and yeah. That is Camilla's bread. That is going to be something that is completely Camilla related, I would believe. Yeah. I would want the taste of the strawberry. I mean, yeah, I guess you would, but it's definitely something that I think I need to work around and try and think of, because I don't, even though this is a really interesting idea for a bread recipe, first of all, I don't want to make it taste like cake. That is the big thing I am worried about. I do not want to make it taste like cake. I want it to be a lot in the sense of like your milk breads. I mean, I want to have like a lot of milk bread sort of ideology. A lot of like Minna's bread I've made even. I want it to be like that love child of cake and bread, but not exactly cake, you know? More bread, more of the bread side than the cake side. So yeah, that's Camilla's. That's the one I kind of was sitting down one day and thinking like, oh, that'd be kind of a cute kind of bread. Oh no, not the bread. What if it tasty? That's a good thing. I'm trying to make tasty bread. Definitely is the goal here. So that is one bread idea I have. I do have another. It does involve this creature right here. She's still in hibernation, unfortunately. So, only time will tell when she finally wakes up. Who knows? But there's this creature. If you don't know who she is, you should. She is a very funny looking and funny sounding bear. She is hold on, let me get the thing here. Her name is Senna Bonbon. Not Senna, Senna Bonbon. Senna Bonbon. And she's also an interesting kind of bread interesting tuber I want to make into the bread. Solely because of the reason that this is a good excuse to try and delve into gluten-free breads. So when I also think about all these breads and all this whatnot, and trying to create a recipe, not only am I trying to also try and put all this stuff into a bread, like try and make these tubers into a bread that I think would be palatable, represents them well, but I also want to make it so that, let's say in a theoretic sense, I somehow make a bread for this tuber, alright? And I am able to present them this bread that represents them. I wanted to make it so that if they wanted to, they could eat it. That is a big thing I want to do. So for Camilla, I think it works really well for her because she probably has a baby palate. I don't know. I haven't watched many of her streams, so I unfortunately wouldn't know. But I feel like she has a baby palate, so I think that Bred is kind of safe. But for Senna, I'm not sure if she. I'm not so sure how I'm gonna go around to do it. I'm probably gonna have to ask Minna because she has a good blend of breads, of a good blend of flours for this. But I want to make a gluten-free cinnamon I forgot how to spell cinnamon for a second. I think I still spelled it wrong. Cinnamon. Cinnamon, maybe some sort of nut, because she's a little bit of a nuts and bolts, because she has little she's like a DIY VTuber and such. So I think having some sort of nuts and bolts sounds really nice. And also, if you think about cinnamon rolls or cinnamon buns, they usually have some sort of pecans or nuts and stuff like that. So maybe like cinnamon, maybe pecan. It sounds very dessert-like, so it's like I'm thinking of like maybe some sort of nut, cinnamon nut, bread. Bread. This one requires a little bit of work, just because it's. First of all, there's a lot of issues with this bread. First of all, gluten-free. If you don't know anything about gluten-free bread, it is a pain to make. It is very expensive to make. It is very challenging to make. Look! I'm looking! Stop screaming at me, Gordon, please!
What the fuck is this?
Hi there, Helix. Hi there, Helix. Hello. Hold on, let me shout you out. Shout out. Helix. Little guy. Hi there, Helix, and hello, Raiders. I am Saltea Kichee, the local virtual baker. That was loud? Oh, surely it couldn't be that loud. I'm not sure how loud it would be, but you're fine. You got more ears, right? You have one ear to have and one ear to lose. That's how it works, right? Hi, hello. I hope you had a good stream, Helix. Hello. I am Saltea Kichee, the local virtual baker, and we're actually doing something on brand today. We're talking about making breads into making VTubers into Bred, because I'm starting a new project. Another project. Because why not? I'm trying to make some VTubers that I like, or friends that I like, or etc. into Bred. So I started off with Camilla, because I like Camilla. She's a funny tuber, a little baby child. And then I have this friend right here. Her name is Cinnabon, and we're talking about her right now. I don't exactly know what kind of. Ooh, wait. Oh, wait. Wait. I think I know what I'm gonna do. But okay, so I definitely want to do like a nut, some sort of nut. But like, there's this bread. Because like, so when I'm thinking about this bread, it's gonna be gluten-free, obviously. But I think having some sort of pulverized nut inside, like maybe pecans, or an almond flour. Oh, perfect. There we go. Almond flour. I don't know. Having some sort of like. Once more, this kind of gets into the territory of like. This sounds like cake, but I'm trying to not make it sound like cake. This is what I don't know, but like this is really fun, like making VTubers into Bred, because it's so hard. Because I want to make VTubers into a nice palatable bread, but something that isn't like, what's the word? Something that isn't cake, because there's that fine line of making cake and bread and all that stuff, usually. But it's fun to think about this because I really have to bend my brain a bit and my knowledge of bread and like other kinds of breads, or other sort of baked yeasted sort of ordeals to see if I can kind of mend and meld my brain into like, oh wait, that would work. And I also don't know why I'm making this so hard for myself, because I actually think this is a good time to bring out my Bred Bible. And there is also no funny joke here. It's literally called a book called The Bred Bible. From Bred Bible from Rose Levy Baramba. I can't pronounce her last name, but it's a good book. But yeah, there is a lot of lovely breads, and cakes on that same proxy. But let's see. Coffee cake. Like, I could definitely make coffee cake and all that whatnot, but it's a bit too easy. I don't know. Submitting and going like, oh yeah, let me make a cake here. Not saying I'm gonna give up, but it just sounds too easy, if that makes sense. But I'm also looking through this book as we speak because I want to see if there is a way to make a bread. Well, there is a bread that has nuts and whatnot in it, you know? Cinnamon raisin loaf. Yeah, that's raisin that has dried fruit, so that insinuates it's healthy. And who likes healthy bread? Ugh. Foolish, sour loaf, sour starter, potato flatbread, pita bread. Pita bread would be very easy to make. Pumpernickel would be cool. Ciabatta. Prosciutto ring Chianti. Chocolate sticky buns would be interesting. Alright, I will scroll through this a little bit at another time. But maybe instead of making like, okay, so as I am also thinking about this, another think and thought in my head is trying to not make everything the same kind of bread in that same structure. So I'm thinking of doing like a, it's interesting, I guess. Because I want to do some sort of like maybe a pecan dusted. Okay, not pecan dusted. It's a Filipino bread. It's called pandesal. But the thing about this pandesal bread is that it's interesting because when you make the loaf of bread, you actually kind of toss it in a bit of breadcrumb before you bake it. And it's supposed to add nice texture and visual looks, but it's also more or less a dinner roll. But I think instead of using like breadcrumb, using like crushed up pecans, I think that would be kind of really interesting because that nuttiness with the pecans would add like nice flavor, nice, weird to say, but richness, and also the cinnamon would work very nicely. Once more, this will probably seem like a good opportunity for like a nice Texas Roadhouse butter or like a honey butter or something like that. And also honey butter, the girl's a bear. It kind of just makes sense in my head. So, dinner roll. So I definitely want to try this just because that's gonna be fun, and also trying to make a bread that is good for gluten intolerant people. I think that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, that's my idea for Miss Senar Bonbar. And since we're talking about Filipino and we're talking about Filipino breads, let me bring my favorite tuber that I know of in this great, interesting, weird world that we live in. Okay. This is Miha. I think still don't know. I'm a little stupid. But Mihan is a very lovely VTuber. If you do not know of, I'm surprised because I've spoken her praise many a time at this point. But okay. Let me see if I can remember her name. But for her, it's a very unique kind of bread, I think. I'm gonna have to really look into it. But it's gonna be a potato slash ube pandesal. So once more, this is another sort of dinner roll recipe. This is very much a Filipino inspired thing. And also, wow, how, I guess, what's the word? How cheesy, how generic. I'm putting ube in a Filipino thing, so now it's automatically even more Filipino. Ooh. But I think it just really works just because she is pink. And although ube is purple, it's close enough and it kind of fits that aesthetic. I just would be a nice color. I gotta see whenever she is available to talk and stuff again. Like, hey, I want to run by this with you. Is this sound like something that would be you? Is this something that you want? Or like, I don't know, stuff like that. So I'm thinking about that as well. This one's definitely more of a work in progress, but instead of just making a a normal panda cell, I would be making it into a potato bread base, but also still taking inspiration and still using a lot of the, the method to make it into a panda cell. So still, it would be potato based, like a potato bread, but instead of using potatoes, you would either use ube, a purple yam, or something among that. Maybe I even try and buy some ube extract. I'm not sure. And then just use some normal breadcrumb and do that. Kind of a very straightforward bread. More straightforward than these two up here. But I think this is kind of needed almost. It's just like crazy, really crazy, confusing, and then we just have a good potato bread recipe. I think that it's just good. It works. And also, I don't want to go crazy for all of the VTubers, because I feel like some VTubers just will be better executed by me, and also just make more sense if they're not on the wall, off the walls, crazy and all that. I mean, if I really want to make this crazy, I would add vinegar in it. Like, some sort of, like, vinegar to Mihan's bread, but, like, or, like, fish sauce. Because she's a fisherman, but that's something that's like, I might need time to cook on the idea, because that sounds a little bit wacky. A little too wacky, I would say. A little bit too crazy. A little too haha, even. But yeah. Ube, I think that would be a very interesting kind of bread. I guess I should try and make down the concepts of these two. So it's just, this one just kind of generic bread. This one would be kind of a weird bread with little bits of pecan and all that whatnot. Who knows, maybe eventually, not eventually, but maybe I'll just turn Senna's bread into like a scone or whatnot, and I'll just be flying with that then. Oh. Bread concepts. Now I do oh, hi there, Mahler. Hello. Hi. I do kind of feel the need, although I'm not really sure how the hell I would do it, but Helix, since you did just raid me, I do kind of feel obligated to at least think of an idea. when it comes to bread and you, but I don't know how well snail bread would go. Not exactly something you want to see in your bread. I could do something that is more representative of what would work well with snails, like escargot. Now I'm not saying you want to eat escargot, especially in front of a snail VTuber. That seems kind of cruel. But let's say on the theoretic sense, I could try and make a bread that would work well with escargot. Ink. No. Why would you want to add ink to a snail bread? No. I think if anything, if I were to make a snail bread or something that works well with snails or escargot, I would probably make like a tarragon sort of ciabatta, a tarragon, maybe like a tarragon focaccia, actually. A tarragon-based focaccia, a tarragon, I don't know what, a tarragon, what is it called? The Zatar seasoned, a Zatar and tarragon, focaccia. I think that'd be kind of nice. I'm taking a very huge assumption here just because I see I'm not sure what it's called, the hood thing with that kind of area and all of that whatnot. I'm not sure if you're actually from that area, but that kind of area kind of reminds me of like Zatar seasoning. I don't exactly know what it is. I believe it is used a lot in that area. It's like a spice blend of sorts. And I know that Zatar seasoning actually works very, very well with, well, that's really loud. Sorry, let me just mess around with the sound here. The Zatar seasoning does work very well with breads, especially focaccia. And also, I think that's kind of funny, like a flatbread, snails. Snails are quite flat themselves, so like a nice flat Zatar and tarragon, because tarragon is a very nice herb that works extremely well with snails. So having that together, I think that kind of would be a nice little fun bread. I think I might even implement the idea. Hold on, let me I'll have to get a PNG of that later. But yeah. Ink. Maybe like a squid ink swirl, maybe a wash to make it look slimy. So Kara, I think I need to give you a little I need to give you a not an explanation, a marine biology course right now. And tell you that snails and squids are two different kind of creatures. One is technically a bug. The other one is a fish. It is a cephalopod. They might seem the same, but they are both very different. One is more water-based than the other, while the other one just lives in water. And actually, no. Wait, I'm thinking of slugs. But snails, I guess they are kind of a crustacean in a way, but like not. Yeah, wait. Okay, I gotta look this up. Arthropods, snails are most. Oh, okay. You know what? Never mind. I'm calling myself out and saying that I'm wrong. They are more like shellfish in that regard, but they're not a cephalopod. You know, I mean, they're not. Well, the thing did say it was, but it's like comparing crabs to snails. I mean, crabs to squids. Like they're both okay. One's a crustacean. Okay, no, it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. All right, no, it wouldn't work. And I say it doesn't work. Wow. I don't know. If I do want to actually try and make something that's more inspired off them, I probably would actually, hey, would you wanna la 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 la? Just talk to them about it. So yeah. So there's that as well. Alright. So, jeez, sorry. I need to drink some water. My brain requires oxygen. I have been expending a lot of oxygen during today's stream for, talking purposes, so give me a second as I drink more water. You know, I gotta buy some of those like 10-gallon jugs of water. Just because it's kind of annoying to always refill my Brita filter, then fill it up again, then fill it up, then drain it, fill it, drain, fill it, drain, fill it, drain, because it's only like 2 gallons. And I drink at least 2 gallons a day, so it's kind of annoying because I always gotta refill it every single day. And then some days I just don't feel like drinking water, and it's like, first world country stuff nonsense because I'm lazy and I don't want to do it. And it's like, oh, wow, I want to blah, 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 you know? Anyways. That is the current situation right now we have. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. There are some other VTubers and whatnot that I would like to make into Bred. A good one, another good tuber I would like to make into Bred is this stupid creature. I freaking hate her. She's so weird and silly and scrungly, and I want to like cry when I see her. Like, I can't really go with a bit of like, ah man. Going with a bit of like saying, oh, I hate this one, I hate this one. It always feels weird trying to go with that. Especially when I really like them. Q. Oh, we love Q. In this household, we love Q. Q is a great friend of mine, Q Bred. But a very difficult. Sorry, I just had to completely murder a fly. I caught it in my hands, and then I just started beating the hell out of it. I caught the fly, and you know the thing about like flies is that they're kind of small. So like even if I try and crush my hand, it could kind of survive, because there's holes in your hand and all that. So I just started punching my hand against the wall, like pulverize, and yeah, I definitely got it. That fly's been around my computer setup for like a day, just a single day, but it was enough for me to go like, yeah, you're dead, you're done, sorry, I'm killing you now, you're done. I need to go hire a spider or something, my goodness. I need to grab a spider and go like, hey, can you live around me? I need you. Now let's take a look-see here. I think I did have a mild conversation to Q about Bred, though I'm not. I saw my skin suit. Anyways, Sobao, Pande Maroka. Okay. Now, I just thought of something that would be really funny, but also I think would be incredible, it'd be kind of rude. But like, do you guys know what Cubans are? Cubans? I think they do have a very specific bread, but it's a sandwich. Cubanos are a sandwich. They have mustard, I think some sort of Swiss and ham, and they're on like a Cubano bread. It's very popular in Florida, funny enough, because I think the history of it is that when Cubans immigrated to America, they mostly congregated in Florida, and when they went out for lunch, I guess a restaurant made something called a Cubano, which was really good for them, and then it got popular from there because everyone else thought like that sandwich was kind of fire. So there's that, but it's not correct. Because that's Cuba, not Puerto Rico. But like, oh, you see, the silly thing is like, oh, Cuba and Puerto Rico, they're the same difference, right? But it's kind of racist. It's like saying, oh yeah, you know, the Japanese and Chinese are all the same, right? So, here, okay. Let me take a little look-see here into, Pansobao. Okay. I know what this is. Oh, it's like... Alright, here, let me bring up a picture of what this is, which is gonna be very hard. But I could... This is like the store-bought bread, you know? They're basically island Mexicans. Yo, whoa, okay there, buddy, whoa. That's a little spicy right there. But, hey, this is Bred. Ah, jeez. Okay, so, this is reminiscent to a bread I've made before. But, okay, here's the thing that makes it really hard. So, when it comes to making this bread is easy. But the issue about making this bread into a bread that is inspired off Q is that, how do I... Okay, well, there's something really funny I could do with this. Because, as we all know, Q has this fascination for this color yellow. And there is a way to make bread yellow, and that is using a lot of egg yolks. You see where I'm going with this? So I could make a bread that is very inspired off of this, but then make it yellow, because Q loves the color yellow. If you know, you know. But that's a lot of thinking though. I don't know. For Q, it's really hard. I don't really know. Okay, look, the thing about Q, she is probably one of the VTubers that I do draw the most of too. But here's the issue, and this is kind of an issue with a lot of tubers that don't have something very strong in the sense of either their palette, personality, or whatnot, that really simulate something with food. Like with clowns, I always think of confetti, and when I think of confetti, I think of funfetti. When I think of funfetti, I think of confetti cake and all that stuff. So it's easy to kind of bridge that kind of line of thinking. Senna Bonbon is literally based off cinnamon buns. So it's like, that's easy, that's a no-brainer. Mihan's a little hard, but like she's purple and like ube and Filipino and their panisals, it's like a little easier. But then you get to Q, and I love Q. She's great, and like, oh, I want to make probably something sort of a yellow bread, or maybe something yellow and salty. I don't know, but then it's like, I don't know. I can't think of anything on top of my head, because she's a fox. She's a cozy fox. And it's like, okay, cozy fox. Yellow. Or let me just rip off the bandage and say piss. It's like, So I have Puerto Rico, yellow bread, salty bread. And that's kind of all I have to work off of, because I can't really think of anything that's fox related and bread related. But it would be really funny to make a bread based off Q and make it very white for like, for lack of a better word, make white girl bread red. Because although she is Puerto Rican, the way she sometimes talks is very slay, you know, very girl boss, and that makes me think of like your basic white bread. So like that's something I have, kind of like connecting you to each other. But also turmeric is also not something I want to do for Q, just because I feel like it doesn't make sense, I guess. Because turmeric is, turmeric and curry bread and all that stuff. First of all, it's very Indian. It's very Asia and all that sort of stuff. While, Puerto Rico is more of North America, South America, sort of stuff like that. So, I don't know. I think, no, Puerto Rico is part of North America. It's part of America, so it's North American. So I can't really think of anything with yellow and something like that. Like, I gotta do some real good research. So, hey, if there's any Puerto Ricans in chat, I'm calling you out. What is your favorite breads? When you think of bread, or any sort of baked good in that regard, what screams Puerto Rican? Because I need help with that. If anything, like, I do see, when I do look at Q, not only do I think of, like, what is it? I don't only think of, yellow, I think of, like, blue, so I think of, like, maybe some sort of artificial vanilla, because I think of the blue Tootsie Rolls, and that's, like, vanilla in that regard as well, and vanilla plays into, like... Actually, I need to ask if she likes coffee, because then if she likes coffee, that actually makes another idea, I guess? I just meant for color. Cornbread. Okay, cornbread is a better idea. I kind of like that a bit more. So maybe some sort of cornbread, but like... I just gotta write notes for now. So like, yellow, something that can represent PR, a white girl. I don't know, maybe I look at like Starbucks, I guess. Look into Starbucks and like the Philippines. What? Wrong thing. Puerto Rican Starbucks, maybe there's something that can shed light there. I don't know, think of something like that. But I definitely want to make something for Q. I think it'd just be really funny. But also, just saying, cornbread would be very difficult for me to make, because cornbread is chemically leavened, and chemical leaveners scare me, because I don't know how to do ratios and stuff like that with them. So that is something I'm trying to avoid, hence the reason why I'm trying to avoid cakes, but I digress. Yeah. So that's Q&A at least. We got Q set now. Woohoo, yippee. Well, not set, we have just spark notes for Q. I'm gonna have to probably do more research for my good friend here. Sorry, bestie, you're being benched and put to the side for now. Let's see. No, I'm trying to look through my little, trying to look through my reference pictures I have for VTubers, because that's just a good way to look through it. Try and get some ideas, some tubers to try and draw. I mean, not draw, but to make into bread. Once more, it's really hard to make VTubers that really aren't related to any sort of food into bread. Like, I would love to make someone like Nip into a bread. But making Nip into bread is kind of confusing. Because once more, we get into this conundrum that she's a snail. And also, if I have to make a bread out of her, it is going to have to be a failed experiment. It has to intentionally be bad or like really scuffed, because that's kind of her brand. But I think for her, I would probably have to look into German breads and stuff like that. Speaking of Germans, I do think I could make something for Mila. Because Mila has, on occasion, really helped me for ideas and baking ideas for German-based pastries. Mila's not too hard, actually. Once more, getting into the idea of, what is it? Getting into the ideas of, what I don't know what the word is. Getting the ideas of using dehydrated fruits. Maybe some sort of... Oh, hold on, wait. I gotta look it up. German scone translation. I don't remember what it's called. It's like a scone, but it's like has chocolate chip. And spoon. Yeah, I don't remember what the hell it's called, but it's like some sort of chocolate chip sort of scone ordeal. I'm actually I gotta go to her channel. This was like many years ago, but hopefully I can find something from Saltea. Oh, can I not look up specific things from? I can't. It's stupid. Why? Bred. Yeah, I gotta really quickly look for Bred. Favorite Bred? Oh, wait, is that... Okay, I'm just looking through stuff. Dutch Bred. Oh, okay, so... So, what the hell is a Dutch Bred? Looking over stuff, I saw Mila's favorite bread is apparently something called Dutch Bred. It looks very much like sourdough or a country loaf, so I'll put that in my back pocket if I need a fall on that. Oh, okay, I found it. What is it? Oh, okay, here it is. Here it is. It's a sweet dough. Okay, so it's called, oh boy, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this. Pronunciation? Skolkowupis? Skolkowupis? Alright, Google Translate.
Schokowuppies.
Hold on, wait. Let me turn off the music so you can actually hear this one nicely. This is the thing that Mila had suggested to me long ago. That's like 2 years ago, but
Schokowuppies.
Schokowupis. I'm not gonna be able to translate that correctly. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to say that correctly. But doing something based on that I think would be kind of nice. It'd be kind of cute even. Because it's just kind of a... It's one of the... It's... I feel like it is very... What's the word? Deep ingrained when I do think of, Mila. So it is a... It would probably be a blue... berry... Skoko... Shoko... Whoopis. Or maybe some sort of Dutch bread. Dutch bread? I mean, if I really wanted to go with something really wacky, I guess, I could potentially do... Okay, so this would be fun because there is some chemical reaction stuff that you can work with, and it's very weird. But I could do a walnut a walnut rye Dutch bread. Now, I don't remember how, but I gotta look into the science behind it. But walnuts specifically, if you have them raw and you bake them into a bread, the area around where the walnuts are baked actually turn the bread purple or blue. I can't remember. But I could do something like that. That would be kind of interesting. A little bit of chemical reaction stuff and stuff like that would be really cool. Walnuts in bread turning purple? Yeah, I think so. Hold on. Yeah, okay, look. So, there is a strange chemical reaction that does happen to where you add walnuts to bread and it will make it purple. Well, not exactly purple, but purple-ish. It gives it like a purple tone. But... Ooh, this is a very pretty sourdough. Look at this. But yeah, I'm thinking of like doing something like that because try blanching your walnuts in boiling water for 1 minute prior to eliminate purple coloring. Walnuts can cause bread dough to turn purple due to a chemical reaction between the gallic acid in the walnut skins and the iron in the flour. Especially in acidic environments like bread dough. This reaction, which is the formation of barystannate, is why walnut bread often develops a purple hue. So actually, that'd be a really cool idea, and also, just saying, would eliminate the idea that I might have to use a chemical leavener, because this is basically a scone, and it would turn... This is basically a scone, and I would have to use a chemical leaven, and walnut rye Dutch bread, I think would be very cool. Not only is there a chemical reaction that would be really cool to happen, but also when I think of like... I'm not sure if this is correct to say, but when I do think of rye breads, I think of like very, very much the Dutch, and then, you know, making that into a mix with actual Dutch bread, and also being purple, would be just an overall encompassing of... That would be a pretty sick bread. You have a chemical reaction happening, you have something that is that paid homage to her ethnicity, I think, ethnic background, all of that such, and also would cater to a bread that she would like as well, because it's Dutch bread. Now, I'm not sure if she likes rye or walnuts, or if she can even eat walnuts, but I think that'd be kind of a cool idea. So yeah, that's an idea for that. You would just have a nice little Dutch bread with walnuts, and it would actually be purple. That'd be kind of cool. So that's another idea for the books. Now this one, this little creature as well. Kind of in the same ballpark when we talk about really hard, but really should be easier to think of ideas. Mima. Love Mima. She's great. She's also a VTuber, so it actually does, on paper, make it easier to think of ideas with her, but also it doesn't. Because she doesn't really, as much as I know, and this is because I just don't unfortunately watch her that much, but she's a good friend, so I would like to do her. The idea of making her into bread. First two things that come to mind when I think of Mima. I think of either some sort of tea bread, because she loves tea more than me. Or making a bread with tea, because tea, you can steep it in water and then use that to make some actual bread, but I'm not sure if that would actually work, because then the tea would probably become too volatile and become maybe a bit bitter with the high temperature when it comes to baking breads. And I'm also not sure if I would want to make a nice rich bread, like a soft bread, or do I want to make something a little bit more rustic, like a country loaf, or something like that. So I'm trying to take that into account, but like, or I could just be boring and just do like a shortbread, you know, something that goes well with tea. And I have made a shortbread recipe before. It's not exactly a hard thing to do. I'm not even sure if tea bread is actually a thing. Okay, it is. It's like tea cakes. So I could do tea breads. I don't know. This is a really hard one for like me because like I don't know. I have no idea where to start with Mima. I know it's something if something has to be like maybe herbaceous. Maybe something. Oh. Lavender. It needs to have lavender in it. Lavender is a good tea. Lavender is also purple, so that just makes sense. Something maybe a bit herbaceous. Something that doesn't require that does have some insinuation of tea. Maybe I could maybe herbs de Provence. I probably butchered how to say this, but that is a herb blend that is often used in France. It has lavender in it, so that still fits the bill of like, oh, I want lavender in it still. So herbs de Provence could open the idea of that. So it's kind of hard to think of something. So I could probably get rid of herbaceous if I do something with herb de Provence. It also kind of mitigates this sort of tea thing as well. So something with lavender or herb de Provence. So I could go with like a... I think she actually likes flatbreads. So I could probably do like a... But she's not French. That's the thing. I think she said she's Swedish? I think she said on screen that she's from Sweden. She's always sweating. Here, let me see. Swede. I think the Swedes do have flatbreads, right? Swedish flatbreads. Oh, yeah, okay, so they do. So it'd be a very strange combo, but I could possibly do a herb de Provence. Herb de Provence. I can't pronounce it. Herb de Provence Swedish flatbread, because I know she's a flatbread junkie. Maybe put cucumbers and stuff, because I think that's something the Swedes like. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, so maybe a lavender flatbread ordeal. I'll have to research on that. And although it would be funny to say, it works, but she's flat. She's not flat. It would be really funny if she was flat, because then it just would make more sense. But no, she has some what's the word? What's the nice word to say? Assets, I guess. So I don't know. What's a very Swedish thing? I can't think of anything. And like the herb de Provence is French. So it's like sure, and it has some lavender in it. It's hard, like, and like lavender. Like, do I want to go with? Do I want to go with the herb de Provence blend, which would make a more herbaceous bread, or do I want to go all in with lavender, because lavender more or less is for the what is it? Would work more well for. It would work more well because it's lavender and it's purple and like tea and all that sort of stuff. And oh my god, hi Mima. Hi Mima. There is literally a Swedish flatbread. We talked about it even. I know. That's why I put the idea of a Swedish flatbread, but I'm not sure if that is like Okay, well, since you're here, hi. I'm grabbing you by the shoulders and shaking you forcefully as we speak. What is your favorite kind of bread? What is your favorite kind of bread? Tell me right now. Because we're making VTubers into bread. So yeah. We're also talking about some fun chemical reactions and all that stuff. So yeah. Good to hear I'm not flat. Yeah, I know. You're not flat. So I know that. Naan is like top 3. That would actually work. I do have a naan recipe that I like too. Flatbread is really nice. Yeah, I know you're a flatbread junkie. But now the issue is like, how do I make it? Well, I don't have to make it Swedish. I just need to represent you, and that's just more up to your thing. So I don't know, Provence naan, and like I know that when it comes to what is it? I think it is. Doesn't like don't they use a lot of like French technique, or am I just crazy for thinking that? Am I just gaslighting myself? I think I am. But a lavender naan sounds very lovely actually, so some sort of lavender based naan would be kind of fun. Sounds very floral. Sounds actually a floral naan. If I can somehow make a really nice, lovely floral naan, that sounds really good for like butter chicken. Oh wow, actually that sounds really good. Nice floral notes to help balance out with nice the rich and tart tomato notes when it comes to like a buttered chicken, because then it balances very nicely with the lavender and the like soft and fluffy chewiness. Ooh, actually I think that would work probably the best then. Still pays homage. You like your flatbread, so I think I might go with that. And also, it doesn't need to be crazy. Yes. BRB? Okay, take your time. Well, unless you say otherwise, I think I might want to go with a lavender naan here. I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe even for the water when it comes to making naan. Maybe steep that in a bit of lavender tea, and then use that to make a nice lavender naan. So a little bit naan on top to like finish. A little bit of lavender in the bread as well, and I think that would work very nicely. Alright, I am gonna be honest here, just because as I look through all these breads, I'm gonna just say right now, I'm gonna start breads I'm really excited to make. I'm really excited to make this bread. I'm really excited to make this one. And honestly, I'm also really excited to make this one as well. Just because chemical reactions are fun. Chemical reactions in like bread is also really cool. So, I would like to see how that would turn. Okay. I think I'm gonna really quickly stand up real quick. I wanna go stand up, walk around, all that nonsense. So, if you give me a few seconds here, I wanna but I wanna just stand up and walk real quick before we get into more brainstorming here. You need to keep the brain working by, stimulating my entire body. So I will be right back. I'm gonna go walk around a bit. I'm gonna take this time to run ads on Twitch, and I would suggest you all, get some water, get some food, take time for yourself right now. I'm gonna send you guys on a little bit of a break. I will be right back. All right? Okay. Be right back. Oh yeah. Wait. Before I go, you lads, you are gonna need someone to keep you company. Okay, mini self, you can mini self do the little jig, do a little dance for me, and yeah, keep them occupied. I'm gonna send you guys on break. Okay, be right back. Alright, small self, you can go on and go do your thing. Thank you for keeping chat busy as I was off and about doing my thing. Alright, lads, I'm back. I will say I got myself a bit of lunch because it's lunchtime. Well, it's very past lunchtime, but I do need some sustenance. Got a crispy chicken Caesar wrap, so let me take a little bite of this. Food. Little snack time. Oh. Yeah, I need some sustenance as well. Need some food. I recommend you all get some food if you haven't eaten already as well. You know, just that time of the day. Quite literally, I need to eat some food or I'll not be able to bring some good ideas and all that whatnot. But yeah, so far, we got some good ideas so far, but now it's the question of all time. Who's next? I don't know what other VTubers to make. There is really no, I guess there's no really, what's the word here? There's no real criteria a VTuber has to be made into. I mean, real no criteria of what VTuber do I make into Bred. It's just like, okay, vibe check. Do you pass the vibe check? Okay. You can always do black tea loaf, but that's boring. But I'll keep that in mind. I guess if anything, I do want to at least brainstorm something for Mip. The silly snail girl herself. I would like to think something for Miss Mipperson here. She is a bit of a silly goofy. She is very, very strange, but we all love her the same. But this is kind of the same situation as Q. What the hell do I make based on her? I watch her streams occasionally once more, but it's like, I don't really know what works. Because the only thing I really have to work off of is that she's orange. Once more, I don't know what's wrong. What's more, it's she's orange, so hey, there's something to work with. But she's a snail, and also has a fascination with piss. I don't know why. So I don't. It's, you know, if I had a nickel for every VTuber that was interested in piss, I have two nickels. It only happened 2 times, but it's weird how it does. No, wait, that's cake. You see, I don't know why. Actually, you know what? Okay, so I got an idea. Because I am thinking about Mip, and I kind of throw her in the same category as almost this clown right here. I think it'd be really cool if I made some sort of creamsicle based bread. But also, I really think it'd be really funny to make something that is really, really stupid proof as well. No, it's not. I'm not saying that to be mean to her. It's not. But she has the tendency to mess up on her cooking streams, which is always a grand thing to watch. It is so funny. She takes it with pride, I think. So I think it would be very endearing. But like making a bread that is like stupid easy to make. I was gonna say there's a cake that you soak in flavored alcohol for a really long time, but yeah, it's more of a cake thing. We're trying to make bread, and although I'm not opposed to the idea of such things, I don't want to do that exactly. So I am thinking of what is it? I am thinking of Nip, and I'm also thinking of Q, because isn't it a thing of like lemon mishap is like a really more friendly way of saying that you accidentally had a issue with your bowels, like a lemon mishap, like you accidentally just peed yourself. So I feel like implementing some sort of lemon to either of these two would be actually kind of good. But I'm also thinking about Nip. Well, okay, let me just think about Q for a second. Doing something like a lemon bread might be nice for her. Maybe something lemon, maybe something that makes another chemical reaction happen that makes it kind of like this teal turquoise, maybe. But, oh. Sorry, chat. I don't know why OBS just disconnected you guys like that, but that's rude. Alright, I finished my food. Now we can actually start thinking. We can start using our brain head. My little noggin, if you will. Alright. So, I thought of something cool then. Because for MIP, you know, I do think of a very specific color. You know, orange. And orange is a citrus. Lemon is also a citrus, but it's still by proxy some sort of thing where it kind of overlaps in that regard. So I'm thinking of some sort of orange citrus related bread. I almost want to even go out and say a marmalade would be nice. Like, marmalade is very fun. It's a bit bitter. It's a bit sweet. It's almost like, and kind of like bitterness is kind of funny. Because when you think of bitterness, you think of like burnt stuff. So I think that kind of funny how that kind of coincides with MIP. So I'm thinking maybe some implementation of marmalade would be interesting. Or if not marmalade, just at least orange and maybe orange peel. Maybe making like an orange tea, you know? Because orange tea usually has like a dried up orange rind, and you use that, and it's kind of bitterness. It's not exactly marmalade, but it still has that kind of those notes that we're looking for, the flavor notes and all that whatnot. Now there is something else that's still kind of scratching in my brain here, because usually when I think of blue, I think of a very specific kind of flavor profile, but I can't remember what it is. I want to think it's vanilla, but I'm not sure if that would No, it is vanilla. It's kind of funny because it kind of just rolls back to that initial idea about a creamsicle like sort of a bread. So like an orange bread with a bit of vanilla inside as well, but that would kind of be petering to the idea of cake. And once more, this is kind of I don't know. Here, I'm just gonna do the same thing I did with Q, and I'm just gonna write some spark notes for now. So, orange / citrus, and maybe some sort of vanilla idea. Vanilla might be good. I'm trying to think other things about like. Actually, you know what? I got an idea. Orange marmalade buns with maybe not pecans, but like I'll have to ask her like what's her like. Do you like pecans? Do you like almonds? Some sort of nuts? So because like look at her hair. She has little hair buns. And usually when I think of hair buns, I think of cinnamon buns or some sort of bun like that. But instead of using cinnamon, using vanilla being more or less the supporting flavor to the orange. So doing instead of a frosted cinnamon bun, I can do an orange vanilla bun. So I could do something like that. And that's not too weird of an idea. Not weird. It's not too hard of an idea, because if I really want to try and make something that is very, I don't know, very dessert-like, but not exactly, I could actually make this, instead of just buns, I could do that into a brioche. Because although brioche is often associated with, like, your burger buns and stuff like that, brioche is often served by itself as a dessert too. So an orange marmalade brioche is not that bad of a thing to do. The only thing why I guess I have a little bit of a disagreement with it is that it's a hard bread to make. It is really hard to make. Brioche is extremely difficult to make. And MIP is kind of special because not only is this a bread I want to try to make something that is inspired off her, looks for her, tastes like something I guess like her or something like that. For her, it's a very special case because since she's kind of DIY and all that stuff as well, I would want her to have the ability to make this. And I think brioche is a little bit too hard for her to make. But that is something I will figure out later. But I think I'll just dumb down the brioche recipe. Maybe I'll make it more simpler. That's the idea for now, but this actually sounds like a good idea. An orange marmalade brioche sounds really good. Well, with how this is looking, it looks like we only have one more thing to do, one more idea. We do have a lot of wham in here. Yeah, we have a lot of wham in here. Let's see if I can get some testosterone in the mix here. Man, this is quite tragic. I don't know much people with testosterone. That sucks. Actually, you know what? No, I do know a few. Soren and Temp. Tempai. He is purple based. He is very shrimp flavored, I suppose. He's very shrimp forward, if you will. Flavors national sad boy as well. Not national. Local sad boy as well. A little goofy, a little silly, very hag-like as well. So, oh, okay, easy. What I would. Oh wait, that's kind of hard though. Okay. So I think the most obvious kind of bread for me to make for Temp is an Irish soda bread, but not Irish soda bread. I would want to make him a beer bread or something like that. Because I know he enjoys having a drink every once in a while. But also, it's kind of would be nice because when you use tempura does use. I'm thinking really hard about it, but tempura has some sort of like thing like that, like soda or like seltzer or something like that, or beer or whatnot. Because beer is it's a stretch, but hear me out. It's kind of like tempura batter. So trying to make and I know he likes to drink a little bit too. So having that little bit mixed in there, trying to do some sort of soda bread, if you will, would be kind of cool. And I think that would just kind of fit Mr. Tempe here very well. Mr. Tempai. Yeah, we need some men in the mix here. Because the world must know I don't simp for just the females, we simp for all genders here. Yes, slay. Okay, so I think I might just have to ask him, like, hey man, what's your favorite drink? So I'll do temp, and we'll do some sort of beer bread. Now, unfortunately, I will have to look into chemical warfare. I will have to commit chemical warfare in the kitchen to get it done. But, yeah, a beer bread. Not exactly sure what I would use, though, because... I don't know, we'll just leave it at that for now. Maybe... No, it does work well enough. So like a soda / beer bread. So yeah, that's temp. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. Can I think of any more tubers that I would make and shove into a loaf of bread? I already did Minna. Actually, no, wait, that's a really funny idea, actually. Because there's a very obvious bread I can go for here, and it involves this creature right here. This silly creature. And honestly, I do have a really interesting idea. The only thing that's stopping me with going with this idea is that I don't know the interaction of this. So this is Nicola, if you don't know. Baba Niku. I think she's a Baba Niku. But, essentially for her... Hold on, I gotta... My non-existent OCD is now kicking in. Hold on. When it comes to Nicola, the first thing I think about to making her into a bread is a very unique idea when it comes to bread. I think it'd be really cool to do some sort of cinnamon... Okay, hear me out. Doing some sort of cinnamon white bread ordeal. A cinnamon Coca-Cola bread. So, maybe not cinnamon, because cinnamon is kind of overused at this point. I'm doing a lot of that. So maybe just some sort of Coca-Cola bread. But there's an issue with that, because Coca-Cola is going into Coca-Cola, and that kind of leads into some troubling things with copyright, possibly. So maybe some sort of just cola bread, but like that's kind of ambiguous. Like, do I also make this into like an actual like soda bread then, like with chemical leavening? Or do I make it into like a more traditional yeasted bread and make it with just Coca-Cola? But the issue with that then is that I don't know the interaction between cola, carbonation, and yeast. Because as we all know, you can melt rats in Coca-Cola. So who's to say that it kills off the yeast? So, ginger... Oh, hi Q. Hi Q. Hi. Ginger. Ginger is an interesting idea. I could probably go out and make my own Coca-Cola, not Coca-Cola, but cola syrup, and use that in a bread. Or just buy a cola syrup and use that. But that would require a lot of research. So, research heavy. Hi Q. Bro's getting creative. Well, it's so straightforward. You want to make a Coca-Cola bread. You have someone is named Nicola, Cola. You have to make some sort of cola bread. It's like it just makes sense. So yeah. But hi Q. How do you like your spark notes? Yes. Here, wait, I'm gonna actually erase one of the things here because it's a stretch. But yeah, I'm trying to still think of a good bread for you. Wait! Listen, with the sleigh? Come on, you can't tell me that has white girl energy, okay? White girl okay, here, wait, let me fix it. There you go. Is that better? Does it make it better or does it make it worse? But I'm still trying to think of something for you, because I just don't know what works. I really don't know. I can't think of anything. Hold on, I gotta just get some water real quick. I'm just Americanized, truly. So, do I just be lazy? Do I just be evil? Because actually, now that I think about it, it would be kind of funny. It'd be really funny, because I think Kara actually... Oh, wait, actually... So Kara did come up with an idea of saying cornbread. But... okay, so cornbread makes a lot of sense, because that is a very Americanized thing. But I'm not sure how prevalent cornbread is in Puerto Rico. But, like, it would make sense, because it's also yellow. But I could do, like, a lemon cornbread, and also make it with a meringue, because I know that you have that little cloud thing there. So, implementing some meringue, like a very fluffy cornbread, a very fluffy lemon cornbread, sounds really lovely, making it fluffy, soft, and like, oh, it's Americanized now. So, would that, well, I don't know, would that suffice? Would you be happy if you were represented by like a lemon cornbread? Ooh, now I want pastries. Pasties. I don't know what a pasty is. Okay. So, a meringue. I don't know how to spell meringue. Oh my god, I'm not French. Yeah, but yes, I'm fine with that, Lamel. Kidoki. Meringue, lemon, cornbread. Now, since I did throw all of that in there, pastries I can't spell. Don't worry, neither can I. I don't even think I spelled meringue correctly, so, like, you're fine, girl. Girl, you fine. Anyways, is there anything else that you would probably want me to introduce into this? Like, I don't know, something that you would really like in cornbread? maybe something that is something towards your background or anything, I guess. Anything at all. Merengue. Merengue, yes. Of course, Merengue. But yeah, this is the one. This is, I guess, your last time for any input. Anything that represents you, everything that represents your your background, ethnic background, anything that you just want to throw in there just because you think it'd be funny. Don't you dare say piss, because I will find you and I will slap the hell out of you if you say that. Come on. I do also like starfruit. I got a tree growing in backyard, maybe a cute star decoration since the silly stars on my overalls. I was typing. Ah! Okay, wait, that'd be really cute. Hold on. Let me cook with this idea, okay? So, meringue, lemon, cornbread with starfruit. But like, you know how like cornbread is often cut into like little squares and stuff? So like, in the pan, if you will, like here's the pan. I'm just doing this for the sake of visualization. So here's the pan, and inside is the cornbread, alright? But each piece of cornbread is being cut into little squares and all that whatnot. But then, like maybe a few seconds, or hell, like as it's baking, you throw a touch of starfruit inside. So it's like you know what to cut and you can get like perfect segments of each thing. And then it's like oh wait, that's really cute then, because like you got little starfruit on top of the cornbread. Isn't that kind of cute? Wouldn't that be kind of a cool idea? Yeah. And also with the lemon, it would work very well with the starfruit here. So you have your starfruit, you have your lemon, and then you have the little cloud in your little hair clip thing, because being represented by meringue, because meringue is very fluffy and like compared to that of a cloud. And you said cornbread is nice, and also cornbread is really nice to just pick at and eat. So it's like, huh. I do have a cornbread recipe that I've been wanting to work on, so that is something I could. So yeah. Alright, thank you, Q. Thank you. Yippee. Hold on, wait. Since now you're here, and, hold on. La Pitura. Since you're here, and since you actually helped me out with that, I think it only means it's only right to have. I need another creature. Here. So yes, there we go. Ah, so far so good. La Clitura. And I want some of that now, Lamel. Well. Well, la 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 la. That's as much input I gotta say on that matter. La 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 la. Alright. Going down the list once more, because I'm... Okay, well... okay, it's so easy. Sorry. I haven't really said, like... I'm not really... You don't probably know who I'm talking about here. Ah, wow, Goosey B. What kind of bread do I make with her? Oh, I don't know. Orange juice. No, honey. Goosey is so easy. It's so easy. It's literally right there. The proof is not the proof. The inspiration is literally right there. It's her. Yes. Not the proof is in the pudding, but like the idea is just right there. It really is just that. It's just that easy, chat. It really is. But yeah. Goosey? Honey. Something honey. I would do honey walnut because like honey walnut's such a classic. It's such a good pairing. Honey walnut. So I don't know, some sort of honey bread. I would actually honey buns would work well. Honey buns. So maybe something like this. I'll probably have to do some double check with her. Maybe I'll just harass her and say, hey, what would you like to be turned into? If I made you into bread, what would you like to be turned into? So Goose TV, that was easy. There's no thought behind it. Just honey buns. Honey buns. That's it. There you go, chat. Honey buns. Woo. Honey buns are good, so good. What the f? I mean, they are good. I'm not saying anything bad about them. It's just that, come on, she's made of honey. What else do I think of? It's right there. And I'm also insinuating because like honey is like so it's I feel it's kind of generic to say honey bun, but like it makes the most sense, alright? Okay. I would. Okay, that's a funny one. Just because it just would be funny. Manto, making manto in like a because you can make bread with ice cream because it has fat, it has sugar, it has all that sort of stuff to make a good bread. So on paper, all I would have to do is just melt down a pint of like mint ice cream and make a mint ice cream bread, which isn't a bad idea, but I also don't feel like buying mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. Her picture is so tiny compared to everyone else. Yeah, I need to make her small. I have to contain her power. It's a little too scrungly. I'm looking at Fambles right now, because right now I'm looking through folders. I have my VTuber folders right now, and I have everyone I have everyone categorized by some regard. Like, I have the Sonic fam, which refers to the VTuber Sonic's made. That's why Manta was in there. I'm looking at Fambles. You see, when I think of Fambles, I think of cookies. And I know an extremely easy recipe to make, like, a peanut butter cookie. But instead of doing peanut butter, I would probably see if we can find an acorn butter. Because I imagine there has to be something like that. So do an acorn butter cookie. It's easy. So, something like that. But I'm not sure. The scope of this is already seeming quite great, so it's really hard to think of that. If anything, all of these are just kind of, once more to say, spark notes, in a sense. Just like spitballing ideas. These are just ideas I'm just throwing to the wall and seeing what sticks and what I want to go with. Because, this is going to be a lot of, what's the word? It's going to be a lot of, what's the word? Work to get all these recipes set. Such as for Minna's recipe, although it did take me 2 trials to go through to get to a recipe that I'm happy with. One, I'm probably going to still do more trials and tinker that recipe a bit more, but also, that took like 3 weeks to do. So, if anything, if I spend a month with each bread here, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, that'd be 10 months. That'd be almost a year's worth. This is a year's worth of work, which I'm fine with doing. But that is a lot, to say at the very least. Alright. There are 2 more tubers that I want to try and think real hard about. And hey, if lads, you got ideas as well of, not ideas, but just tubers you would like to throw at me for, to make them into bread, let me add it. There are 2 here that I might want to do, just because they both have potential. There's this creature. I don't know if you guys know this one. This one's weird. She's stupid. But like, oh, banana! Ah, wow. Okay, so catnip and banana bread. There you go. Easy. Definitely do feel like it would be kind of fun. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, so banana bread. Yeah, obviously I would want to do a banana bread, but why not? Just because I guess she kind of has like a doesn't she have like an not yeah, she has like an emo side of her as well. Like I know she has a toggle or like a model for like emo and stuff. So instead of just doing banana bread, why not a raspberry banana bread? Thoughts? So here, let me just grab this stupid cat. Let me just grab this little thing and we'll have it as a raspberry. Oh, she's too tiny. She's too small, but she is small. So a raspberry banana bread, raspberry well bread applications, and banana and raspberry is a very nice and fruity combo. So I think that would work very nicely. Also, it's very unique than your just standard banana bread. So, oh, that's too yellow. Oh, that is so bright. Okay, there you go. And a raspberry that isn't blood, raspberry banana bread. And I actually do have a banana bread recipe that I can use for this. So that's not hard to do. Just probably throw in some mix of raspberries as well. So she has a Lolita model and a Cyberpunk model. That's what isn't the Lolita one looks a little emo, right? That's one of the black dress and all that. Because that's what I'm thinking about. But Raimi. I would like to throw Raimi into the mix. I know she has a thing with her and gore cheese, I think. Like that's one of her things is the cheese that looks like blood or something. Like she has something to do with gore cheese. So I think it's sensible if I were to make a bread that is some connection to her, doing a bread based on her and doing something with cheese and some sort of red streaks, if you will. That's the one. That's a Kuro Lolita model. Okay. Cheese. I think that the gore cheese she referred to though is that it's a cheese. It's cheese, but with like Chardonnay or Cabernet Sauvignon or some sort of red wine in it. Hold on, let me look. Because I remember in one of my cheese classes, it's either some sort of Cabernet Sauvignon or something like that. Alright, I'm gonna look up something scary for cheese. Okay, good. I just searched up gore cheese and it just showed me gorgonzola. Oh, thank you. Cheese with red inside. Okay, let's see. I know it's cheese. I love cheese. Who doesn't love cheese? Oh, okay. I think this might be the cheese I was thinking that she thought of. It's some sort of I think it's this. But like this kind of cheese, if I recall correctly, is very expensive. Because it has port and brandy in it. So it's like, that's gore of my cheese. I'm sorry. I'm showing you that's gore of it's gore of your comfort. It's gore of your comfort character. Whoa. Hold on. Let me see if there's any documentation. Raimi, ricotta, cheese. Oh, she has a fandom wiki page. Perfect. Cheese. Cheese enjoyers. What type of cheese? Has a cheese sound effect. Cool. It would be the cheese wrapper if I can. Cheese. I swear she had a Twitter post about something like, I don't know what is it, 4 cheese or something like that. But I could try and do something like that. Wait, I can probably just ask the Discord. Hey, does anyone know the name of that gourd cheese Rhymy ate once? I need it for future endeavors and ideas. Trust. Alright. So, but yeah, for Ramy, I think some sort of cheese bread will do then. A brandy cheese bread. Or something that would just be really funny, because I see... often in her, like, little silly pictures, she has herself smoking, like, a ciggy, so, like... maybe throw cigarettes in it, I don't know. Throw cigarettes in the bread! Oh, food safe right there. Hold on, I gotta go look for, Oh, okay. I'm just gonna steal this. Steal this drawing that I found in her Discord and use this. But yeah, look, I think this is said gourd cheese. Methinks. So I will just refer to it as Rhymy for cheese bread. And for this cheese bread, I might use a brioche base because that just makes sense in my head. I don't know. Whenever I think of cheese breads, I think it just works really well with brioche or something like that. I might borrow some ratios for my brioche bread to make this into something. Because cheese is a fat, and, you know, cheese melts, obviously. Wow, especially at such high temperatures. So, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. Oh, wait, there's messages. Ah, okay, sweet. I got okay. How much is this cheese? How expensive is it? Oh, so it was that cheese that we actually saw. Okay. How much is this? Please don't be expensive. My god, please don't be expensive. $15.99. That's not horrible. I can expend some cash for that. Maybe. If anything, I could actually hold on. I gotta make a really quick note so I don't forget the cheese. Red. Windsor. So I could probably even ask, like, my job, like, hey, can we order this bread in? I'll comp the cash. It's not extremely expensive. I thought it was worse. Yeah. I think it's pretty much on par with, like, the pricing of Parmesan cheese. But I could probably ask my job, like, hey, I need cheese for something, for a personal home project. Can you order this for me and I'll pay it for you or whatnot? Because I know that there are some people... No, not some people. I am some people. I buy bread flour from them. I pay the money, they buy the flower, and I take it home, and it's all grandiose and great, and all that stuff too. So, definitely something I could probably do. And especially that if you buy it from the purveyor themselves, it's a little bit cheaper than buying it in the store. So, there is possibility that I could make that cheap. Make that a little even cheaper. But yeah, cheese bread. That's an easy one right there. Okay, other tubers. This is a cool tuber. I like this tuber. She is very sweet. She is very neat and nice and does... And honestly, I do see a lot... I have a lot of inspiration from her as well. Just because I feel she is very, very motivating in the sense of like content creation. If you think about it, for what I'm trying to say, I think is that she is my content idol. She makes a lot of content, and she does it really good. Like, it's not slop. She makes like genuinely pretty funny content, and I think she deserves a lot more traction than what she has. But yeah, Zuzu. Now I don't really know much about Zuzu. I haven't really been able to watch too many of her streams either. As a tendency for a lot of tubers, I just don't really have the mindset to watch a lot of tubers. But for Zuzu, I don't know, actually. I don't know where to start with her. All I know is that she's mecha. So, wow. That's something to work off of, I guess. But, like, what do I do with that? You know? I know she makes... I think she has Asian heritage. So, actually, a bean bun, a red bean bun would work very nicely, methinks. Maybe. It's an idea, to say at the very least. Here, let me go stalk her Twitter. Maybe that can give, like, Bunny Bot Overlord. Okay, so she's a bunny bot. And that makes sense, because the little ears on her head. Okay. I maketh the food. Yes, she do. Yeah, she makes a lot of food, and she's very anime-esque. But to say what kind of thing, what one thing really represents her well, I don't know. She puts out a lot of content. Really good content, methinks. I was like, what would I do? What's one thing that would be good? I don't know. There's so much. She did so much. It's like I might have to go harass her, like saying, "Hey, what's your favorite bread?" I don't know. That's definitely gonna be a brain scratcher. Ask her. Alright. And then there's this one. I had no interaction with them at all. There is no sense of interaction I have ever had with her. But I still love her model. To my knowledge, she rigged her model, she did her model art, and I think it's really good. I really like it. It's so cute. And also, I love fish. Fish are really cool. So, there's a bit of personal bias when it comes to this as well. Like, oh, I love fish. Fish are so cool. I love the color blue. Oh, yes, yes. Ocean, ocean, ocean. So, Cherubi.
Look!
Oh.
Look!
I'm looking. Hi. Hi there, la 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 la.
What the fuck is this?
I don't know. That definitely seems like a raid if I do say so myself, Mr. Ramsey. Hi there. Hello there, Locktex. Loterix. Yes. Hold on, wait. I gotta... Let me just really quickly... Cherubi. I'm gonna write this VTuber's name down before I forget. I gotta do the little line. Whoosh. Alright. Hi, hello everyone from Mr. L's raid, or Mrs. because I forgot. I think you're Goopy's friend. I can't. My brain not working. Trust the process. Oh yeah, okay, I do. Okay, yeah, you're Goopy's friend. Let me give you a nice shout out. Hello everyone, I am Saltea Kichee, the local virtual baker, and I am doing a process of trying to make brainstorming VTubers into Bred. What is it? Let me try and bring up the Google Doc, because I've already been starting this process. I have currently made a single VTuber so far into a unique Bred that represents them very well. That would be my good friend Mina Vanilla. Made a sourdough vanilla milk bread. It turned out very nicely, and I'm very happy with the recipe, so I went with it. And this is the current recipe that you could try and make yourself. It is a little bit more hard to make, but if you are able to make it, you should. But that being said, I'm also working on other VTubers for bread recipes, and a lot of them are actually pretty unique. I think they're pretty cool. We have Cuny right here, good friend. I'm gonna make a lemon meringue cornbread with star fruit on top, which would be very cute. So there's that. Then I have some other interesting things, like an orange marmalade brioche to Coca-Cola bread, or Gore cheese bread, which is made with a cheese called Red Windsor, which is red, has some brandy and red wine into it. So... And then there's like lavender naan breads that would work well with lavender will work well with butter chicken. And then I have some really fun ones like a rye walnut Dutch bread. And if you don't know anything about walnuts and bread, is that walnuts can dye your bread into a very sort of color that is very much akin to Mila. So walnuts they have some sort of weird chemical reaction with the iron and wheat flours and stuff like that. So it turned the flour into this purple hue. So it'd be really cool to have some sort of chemical reaction bread as well. And she likes Dutch bread, which is just like a country love of sorts. So it just makes sense. And also with her having German background, rye and Dutch, it just makes sense. So yes. We got a lot of good ideas here. I've been brainstorming for the entire time we've been live. Also, this one's literally for a baby, and I love it. It's gonna be so fun to make. And yeah, we're just spitballing ideas. I have seen walnuts used to make iron gal ink before, so that's not that surprising. For some people, it is. I know for a lot of things, a lot of people, especially when back in the COVID era, people tried to make like sour walnut breads, and they had no idea like why is my bread turning purple when I put the walnuts in the sourdough? And it's like, well, there's a chemical reaction that happens with the interaction of with the nuts and the flour and all that whatnot. So yeah, kami koof. What the heck is a kami koof? It's a very neat effect though. Exactly. So that's why I really want to try and test this recipe out. I already have a good country loaf recipe. I have a good... So that's going to probably be a good combination of milk of my rye bread, my standard bread, and a sourdough. It's going to be a combo of 3 breads. But I also might make her into a blueberry skolkowupis, which is a very German thing, I believe, or Dutch, I don't know, wherever she's from. So, but speaking of people in the German area, I believe Cherubi is. Furry Ruby. Okay, let's see. Yeah, she is German. She is a touch German, I suppose. yeah, so here, look at this cool thing. I think she drew this. I think she's the one that drew this. Yeah, she did. She is a arrow shark who doesn't know how to swim. She is. I want to see if she has comms open. I really like her art style. It's very good. But what? I don't really know what really. Wait a minute. Is that the old iTunes logo? That's so funny. What the hell is that? Is she old? Capri Sun? Never mind, she's a kid. Okay, so oh geez. So I see Capri Sun. I'm thinking of summertime. And I'm thinking of like little baby flavors again. So I'm I'm thinking of making a Bred Capri Sun. Oh, wait. Okay, so I've always wanted to do this because it seems so interesting, and it seems really wacky even. And I believe that this lass right here, the crazy VTuber that she is, she actually has. Oh, well, she actually has. This crazy little VTuber, I think she is a bit of a gremlin, a little smug, if you will. So you know what's kind of a crazy, chaotic Bred that might work well with her, especially with baby flavor palettes? Y'all know what this is? This is Gatorade Bred. So, ooh, and I've always wanted to make Gatorade Bred because it seems like something that should not work. But from what I've been told is that it works shockingly well. I have been told that there are shockingly positive results. And, oh, it's fluffy, it's chewy, the perfect crisp crust. The only flavor it has is vaguely sweet. I've already eaten the whole loaf. Yeah, apparently, from what I've been told, is that this is actually shockingly good. And I don't know, when I think of like sports and all that, like when I think of swimming, you know, it's a sport. So like sports drinks and like little baby drinks, little baby drinks, little baby drinks and all that stuff. It's like it'd be really funny to either make a Capri Sun Bred or a Gatorade Bred. It's both extremely chaotic and stupid, but it also still fits a theme of like summery, chaotic in a way, and also since there's Capri Sun there, there's some notion or representation of that. So I think either a Capri Sun Bred, which sounds really whack, I gotta say, or a Gatorade Bred, like a blue Gatorade Bred. So blue Gatorade. Maybe she's ever live or like on a post and she's talking about food or something. I might have to ask her like, hey, do you like Gatorade? Can you give me your favorite Gatorade flavors? Can you give me your favorite Gatorade flavor that is blue? It's a cursed in-game item. Well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know, I can't really think of something that's very shark-like. There's no... like... Shark? It's a shark. It's a summer shark girl. Arrow shark. I don't know. That doesn't really give much of an idea when it comes to... I guess, flavor profiles. Funny enough, the first thing that comes in mind when I think about flavors and flavors and shark, I think of piss. And I know that sounds really weird. Like, why do you think of sharks and then you think of piss? The thing about sharks, and the reason why most people won't eat their flesh, is that the way they actually piss is through their skin. So their flesh is gonna taste like... You're smart enough to fill in the blanks, right? Yeah. So, yeah, no. And also, we already have two tubers here that are quite that are quite associated with that. So having a third one is gonna make me go up the walls. I will probably go feral and kill someone. That's a joke. That's a joke. For all legal reasons, that was made to be a joke. Wah. But yeah. I feel like we should probably do 4 more. At the very least, I know that with little thought in my mind, this will keep me going for at least a few years. As I said, making Minna's bread took me 3 weeks, so it is gonna take me a bit of time to get through all these breads, and especially since I've already done 6, 12, 18, I'll be good for the next full while. The man behind the piss slaughter. What does she... Chat, what does she mean by this? I don't know. What does she mean by this? Hey, I'm throwing a little thing out there, a little suggestion. As I am looking for, I guess, bread ideas and all that whatnot, well, looking for tubers. Currently, I am scrolling through Twitter as we speak because I can't find any other tubers that I would like to make into bread. That, or there are just none that are coming to mind as we speak. So I'm currently scrolling to hopefully maybe find one. Mint Mai. Wouldn't mind doing one of her. She is a Baker Idol VTuber. I'm just gonna do pretzels. I haven't really executed a good pretzel. And I don't know. I don't really know what would work well with mint. In a bread, at least, because mint is a very dessert-heavy thought. So that's a hard. Maybe I'll think something, but no, not for yet, at least. Cara Malone. Sure. Let's see. Cara Malone. I don't know. So Cara, I imagine, is caramel. Caramel, caramel. My brain's running dry here, folks. Brain's being put on overdrive as we speak. So let's see. I'm gonna do 4 more brainstorm ideas. So 3 more. Frying the bread brain. Yeah, the bread brain is being pretty fried as we speak. Gotta just realign myself in my chair here. I am finding some tubers here. There's this one tuber I like. Orion Mint. Yeah, I might want to do a Bred of her. She's a train conductor, but I think of I don't know why, but like when I see her, I think of an onion poppy seed bread, and when I think it's because like I think of Orion, and when I think of Orion, I think of the star cluster. I think it's star cluster, something with the stars or whatnot. Orion, whatever the hell it is. Like don't remember my astrology, astrology. One of the two, but I am reminded of that. And I would think of doing some sort of poppy seed, because poppy seed is the best representation I can think of when it comes to stars. But also, since Orion is Orion and sounds like onion, I would do like an onion poppy seed, and that sounds kind of coined noise. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I don't know where my brain's going right now. I've lost my pen. Where did my pen go? Oh, there it is. It was on my lap. Alright. Let me get that. Orion. Orion mint. So, maybe an onion poppy seed mint bread. Maybe that might be something. The mint is something I want to try and avoid, but only think it sounds right because you know it's in her name, so it only makes sense. All right, so far so good. 3 more. I'm gonna look in chat in just a few moments here. So if you have an idea, please. I mean, if you have a tuber that you want me to try to convert into Bred, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna look in chat in 3, 2, 1. Ogres are like onions. Okay, so let's do. I should do Kara real quick. Kara. All right, so there's actually 2 ways I can take this, because I can do it the right way or the wrong way. The first way is Kara, because Kara is based off of, if I recall correctly, caramel. But you know what else sounds like Kara? And you know what actually would be more interesting to make into a bread? Carrot. Carrot bread. It doesn't sound like Kara, but carrot, like carrot gold. It's a stretch. It's not what they're represented or made out of. But you know what? They're a carrot in my mind now. Yeah. You're a damn carrot. What's carrot bread? I don't know. I'm pretty sure someone's definitely made carrot bread before, but made it more into like a carrot cake. But I fully intend on making this carrot bread into like an actual bread. Like, I'm probably actually gonna cook this and treat it a lot how one would treat potato bread. So I'm probably gonna make this almost like a spoof off of like a potato bread, but make it into carrot bread. So maybe I'll make something revolutionary out of it. I don't know. I've never made a carrot bread before, but definitely seems feasible to try and do something among that idea. Alright, 2 more ideas. The brain is getting squandered as we speak. Sorry, I'm also okay. As I'm scrolling down Twitter, I'm finding some like really good art as well. So it's really hard to like go through this all and go like, yeah. It's hard to go through Twitter and go like, oh, I want to like this post and I want to look at this post because it's art. Amanda? I'm not sure. Because so honestly, when I think of Amanda's stats, it's like, oh geez, I think of sand. I think of sand. I don't know. I don't think she's applicable to making into bread. As a gimmick, it's a loaf of bread with tire marks on it. Yeah, I think of roadkill. Isn't that what Amanda's stats even is? Right, roadkill. I'll say this much. That's really hard to make into bread. First of all, if we're talking about roadkill, that's something with food, not with baking stuff. So that's already an issue right there. But roadkill is just also... that's an idea. There is a lot of people in flavor that would make easy into bread. Like, you know, Donna, Rika, Low Lime, Juwan, Sugar Bloom, all that stuff. But, like, I think I've already done enough flavor. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. I think I need to get some. I need to get my other daily doses of nutrition here. Is there old bread? Sourdough, technically. Sourdough is an old bread, so. It is believed to be one of the first sourdoughs. I mean, the first kind of breads. You know, I'm thinking. Actually, for the last two, I kind of want to do not big, but like VTubers that aren't, I guess, I have any association with. More or less, I guess, like the big VTubers and whatnot. But I'm not sure which VTuber, first of all, will I have the tenacity? The confidence to do? But, yeah. I'm also just thinking about all the big VTubers and all that whatnot, too. But the issue when it comes to something like that as well is that, well, a lot of them just don't have, well, at least to my knowledge, good flavors that work, a flavor that makes sense, I guess. Here's a good example. Crony. Love Crony. How the hell do I make her into a flavor? How do I make, like, something that takes a lot of time? Okay, so she would be a sourdough. But, like, a blueberry sourdough? I'm also a little scared about rabid fans that might go like, oh, you didn't represent her good enough, so like, oh, stuff like that. Just because, like, that's how, I guess, some whole life would be. Well, probably not. I'm probably just overthinking that in that regard, but... scary. If anything, if I were to make bread based off them, I want to make sure it's the best one possible. So, but yeah, blueberry sourdough just sounds so flat. I'm not creative enough to think of anything like that, so... By the way, I'm still scrolling down through, what is it? I'm still scrolling down through, what's the word here? I'm still scrolling down through Twitter, and I am looking at the,
Bred.
I am, jeez, I am looking through the, what is it? Looking through chat, so if you guys got ideas, let me know. Her mascot is literally Bred, Sana. I would like to do Sana, but like her mascot is really just Bred. How do you innovate from Bred? Like anything, maybe something fun to do is maybe like an ube bread, and trying to do like white sprinkles to make it look like a galaxy sort of feel, but also I don't know. That's hard to do. I don't know what would really represent her that well. Once more, among the idea of I want to make sure that if I make something for her, make someone for that caliber of a tuber, that I do something right. What if I make a Miku bread? A Miku bread. Oh, that's a great idea. What do I do? What? How would you make a Miku bread of all things too? Like, that's just one that I don't think is worth, not worth, but like I don't want to touch. Once more, I don't know what to do. I really just want to think of two more, but like the brain here, lads. It's so. What's the word? The brain here is just dying. Ollie. Dead one, bread with leaks. Okay, a leak bread doesn't sound like a bad idea, though. I wouldn't be opposed to doing that, so that's a good idea. Just like the ramen? Just like the ramen. There's Miku ramen? I once got a snack-like box that was a Miku collab, and they had a lot of milk candies. Oh, so then in that sense, maybe a blueberry milk bread would probably be very Miku-esque then, yes? I think that would make more sense. That would make more sense then, no? So dead one bread. Once more, that's dead. I don't want to make a bread that's dead. If anything, if I make a bread that's dead, I would then make a cracker, because usually crackers don't use some sort of leavening. It makes sense, like, oh, a dead bread. There's no Actually, wait a minute. That's really funny. If we do Ollie, that is really fun. Wait, that's Uh-oh. No, okay, wait a minute. A travesty has just... Uh-oh. A travesty has happened, lads. Never mind, I found it. Okay, whew. I thought for a second there I had lost my pen tip. Because I'm just, like, flicking my pen around. Oh, jeez. Imagine that. Isn't there a type of bread that you bury? Yes. Those are breads that you would bury in the ground to bake. But first of all, you need usually that's made in volcanic areas. I live in a city, so I can't exactly do that. That would be cool. But wait, it'd be really funny. Hi, Scav. Hello. Or Ollie is different types of breads put together. Yeah. But wait, listen. Hear me out. Hear me out. Ollie. Okay, so hear me out. Let me cook up this idea. It'd be really funny. But Ollie, for a bread that's dead, it means that a bread that has not risen. So I would do a cracker. And it's really evil because Ollie is flat. But, you know, since they're Indonesian, then we do a spicy cracker. Maybe getting some sort of Indonesian chili flake. And then putting that within the cracker. I think that's a funny idea. That is a really funny idea. And also, it would work really well with the, if we get like a spicy Indonesian flake and the cracker, I think that would work really well, because the red and white color scheme. Yeah, okay. Or worst comes to worst, we can just make it really crazy and chaotic. We can make it really weird, because then we could do a peppermint cracker. Like a candy cane peppermint cracker. Might be the final boss when it comes to, making a bread for her. But that is also mostly due to, agency. It's scary. But I would like to play a little homage, because, like, they're a real cool VTuber, as we know. Wait, am I counting wrong? Am I missing one? Because I know this would be 18. But, like, wait, 17. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So why is there going to be 19? That's why. There's nothing at 12. Okay. Okay. The final boss of the Bred VTubing thing is gonna be Crazy Ollie. I'm not gonna try and spell it right. Indo Spice Cracker, or maybe candy cane. But yeah, that's a good one. That's a silly one right there. Now the last one. This is the last one, the coup de grace. Also, Salty doesn't have a backyard. Yeah, I don't have access to a backyard. I would have to go back to my parents' place to go to a backyard, so unfortunately that happened. What is it? There is one other tuber I guess I would like to make bread for, but it's such a weird one. It would be such a... it really would be such a head scratcher of like, what would I do for her? Hold on. Alright, maybe give me some ideas here. But, you guys should know of Neurosama, yeah? I would like to make a bread for Neurosama. But how the hell do you make bread for an AI that is absolutely that shrimp insane? Like, obviously the first thing I think about is one of the videos that told, I think it was Lena? That tuber that she wanted to put like dirt in pizza she made. So making like a dirt-based bread or like pizza inspired off that? Ask an AI? I guess, but like I would want to ask the AI themselves, but there's no way in hell I would be able to do that. I'm the best VTuber ever. No, sorry. No, sorry. But yeah, no, Neurosama. What? I mean, I could ask an AI of Neurosama, yeah. But it's not Neuro, you know? Chocolate chunks? Okay, chocolate chunks. That's not a bad idea. And that kind of would play into the idea of like, what is it? It would play in the idea of like chocolate chip cookies. It's not a horrible idea. And I guess we could take the idea even more and make it a whole wheat bread, because I think whole wheat, 100% whole wheat, will taste like pretty much like it would taste too earthy. But it's the closest thing we have, to be honest. My mind goes to dirt pudding people would make and would put gummy worms in it. Oh yeah. Dirt cups. I know what you mean. But like chocolate chunks is not a bad idea, although I will say it's a bit expensive to buy whole bitter chocolate. But doing a whole wheat, like I think the thing if we okay wait, this is I actually like this. I like that idea. Wait, I actually really like that idea. Hold on. Let me get a picture of Neurosama. Neurosama, whatever the whatchamacalls. The silly AI herself. So yeah, I definitely think that if we do one of this creature right here, this animal, this scary creature. I don't know why I have the tendency to call things animals and creatures, my bad. But with Neuro, I think I tried to make it very earthy. Just because dirt, I can't think of anything other than like dirt. Maybe sprinkles and pins / buttons on their shirt. Okay, wait, you're cooking with this idea, actually. Wait, and also that kind of works well, because her and Camilla, well, Beetle, if I put, like, little sprinkles, wait, that's kind of really funny, actually. This bread, by the way, is gonna be pretty inedible, I think. Because okay, so I'm gonna go with dark chocolate, dark choco, whole wheat, sprinkle bread. This sounds horrible. Actually, this sounds horrendous. Because not only do we have dark chocolate, which is not a bad thing, we have whole wheat flour. Whole wheat flour is going to be making this taste very earthy and very dry. The sprinkles is going to be really silly, but also on brand because it adds that chaos. Fairy bread. Yeah, I know it's going to be a lot like fairy bread, but fairy bread is what you make with white bread. So we're baking the fairies into the bread. But, oh geez, this sounds horrendous. This sounds very bad, actually. Like, there's a lot of semantics that I have to jump through in the sense of trying to make this edible. The first thing is the whole wheat. Whole wheat is such a difficult flour to work with. It absorbs a lot of liquid and doesn't really develop much gluten. It's like trying to develop gluten with like cornmeal, but that's not possible because it's starchy. There's no gluten development in that. Sprinkles is going to be the least problematic thing because that has very minimal flavor. It's just going to be more visual. Dark chocolate and a whole wheat, though, is going to be horribly hard to balance because they both don't work. They don't work very well. One's very bland. One has a very strong bran flavor, very earthy flavor. But the dark chocolate also kind of is like bitterness and stuff like that. So it's complementing not favorable flavors, if you will. But at the same time, despite this being absolutely fanatically crazy, it makes sense for Neuro-sama. It makes sense for Neuro, because she is quite crazy and random and sporadic. And also the dark chocolate is like, oh, chocolate chip cookies, I guess. Even though that's like saying like, oh, chocolate, oh, it's like saying, oh, the sky is blue, so it must taste like blueberries, you know? It's something like that. It just... it's a stretch. Definitely is a stretch. But I also remember that wasn't Neuro turned into bread? So I would definitely try and make this into a like sandwich bread. But that's so hard. I definitely have to probably do a 50-50 split when it comes to whole wheat and bread flour. But like, that's gonna be so wacky. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be very strange. But I guess that's just on brand. I guess that it really is on brand. Yeah, I'm gonna really quickly look. I'm just gonna stick. I have the plush for Neuro-sama, but like I'm too lazy to grab it. Yeah, okay. Honestly, if I really could, I would have just made white bread with her. Because she's been a bread and I would just put like little eyes on it. There you go. Idea, have Sour Patch Kids. Sour but sweet. Are you telling me to bake Sour Patch Kids into this bread? Because that sounds completely stupid. And I kind of like that though. But I'll shelve the idea for now. I'm going to shelve that idea. Maybe. I like it. It's kind of funny. I'm looking at, because the more I look at this, it's like, oh, we're kind of cohesive here. Like, we're still on this idea of bread, and like, okay, we get a little wacky with the cola and the soda bread, the cola bread. It's getting a little wacky. The Gore cheese bread is a little wacky, but it's like it's just a cheese bread. And then like right here is where we just go off the walls, kind of really like, what the hell are we doing? Gatorade bread, dark chocolate whole wheat sprinkle bread, Indo spice crackers. Like what? Where the hell are we going? Oh jeez, this is definitely gonna be a bit of a mixed bag, but I think that's it. Okay, I'm just trying to look at all these things, make it at least satisfy my non-existent OCD here. But yeah, raccoons would be eating good that day. I keep thinking of that Nature Made commercial with the Princess Toast. Never heard of that. I'll look that up real quick. Princess Toast. What the hell is this? Oh, this looks horrible. Why is it iced? Why is it iced? Why? Nah. Alright. Let's see here. That is a lot of bread. If I can try to fathom and make at least one bread VTuber, if I can test one VTuber bread a month, I think I'll be on a good steady pace. To not overwork myself, but also balance my own stuff. My own baking things I want to do in the future. And all that whatnot. Yeah, that's a lot of like, there's a lot of stuff here. I'll definitely be busy when it comes to experimentation and baking for a while. But yeah, this is 18 whole VTubers to do. Not mocking you, but we all know that half these aren't going to be edible. Actually, the only ones I see actually being really troublesome, it's gonna be, maybe Ollie's because of how spicy it might be. Neuro because how crazy that is. And honestly, that's really it. Every other bread here is kind of feasible as like actual bread. This one might honestly taste more like cake. Gluten-free bread's a red flag, so never mind. I take that as 3. This sounds like a very cute bread. Sounds very good. This just says walnut rye. Lavender naan might be kind of weird. Cheese bread, banana raspberry banana bread sounds great. Honey bun. This I have faith in, honestly. Soda bread, not too weird. Zoo, I gotta ask you, Zoo. The Gatorade bread, I've been told it's good, so I'm having high hopes for that. So like, honestly, maybe 3 of the breads we're making is kind of questionable, but all things considered, it's not horrible. It's only like maybe 3 of these breads, maybe 5, that I probably personally would not go out my own way to go make. But I'm going to have to because, well, well, not that I have to, but it's like I want to. This has been a project, and I have a lot of projects. I still have to do the flavor sim. That's still a big project. This is a big project I've been wanting to do for quite some time. So actually trying to write down and get the ideas down first is at least a step in the direction I want to do. I know that if anything, the most concrete ideas that I'm probably gonna actually do, due to my own curiosity and all of that whatnot, I am definitely going to do. I'm gonna do Camilla's, Senna's, Mihan's, Puny's, Mila's, these 2 because they sound fun, and this one, for Ruby. So, out of the ones that I'm very concrete and very, very, set in stone of what I know what I want to try and do, those are the 7 I am pretty set in stone of, like, what I want to do. Everything else is kind of in the ballpark of iffy, in the sense of, like, not because of iffy of, oh, they're bad, but it's like, I want to try and pay better homage to them. As I've said with, like, most corpo VTubers, I want to make sure that if I make a bread of them, it's properly, it respectfully, represents them. Like, this is honestly a little bit of a meme and a little bit of a mean one, because, like, cracker and flat. This one just seems kind of on brand, but I'm just not excited to make. This one just doesn't make sense, because Cara is caramel, not carrot, but, like, I kind of want to make carrot bread. This one seems good. Still gotta ask Zuzu. But, yeah, I probably have to think about some of them a bit more. Goosey might be fine. Honestly, I just need to do more research for Nicola. Temp, I probably want to look more into and put a little bit more heart into. Same thing with Nibby. Nima, I'm gonna try this, but I'm not sure really. But yeah, the ones that definitely need reworks, or the ones that need reworks, well, obviously Zuzu, because there's nothing there to begin with. Maybe Kara. Neuro is fine. Ollie, need to fix, because I want to properly represent them. Maybe I'll look into some breads that are in Indo. And then there's some breads that I just need to do more research for. It's Nicola, obviously. Temp. And then it's just like these two of like, I'm just kind of iffy. So I might want to ask for input. Neuro is just perfect. Unfortunately, perfect. Orion, iffy. I gotta do research. And yeah, that's pretty much the scope of it all. Maybe Karo would be mushrooms. No. If anyone, it would be Ju1 that would be mushrooms, but I know Ju1 without a doubt my mind, and I think he told me that he would want to be banana bread. Unfortunately, someone has beaten them to that already. Anyways, I think that is the best I can think of right now. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this as PNG. Oh. That's enough thinking. My little brain, my little bean, my little noodle, he's been thinking overdrive, and I think some of those ideas at the end are a little bit half-baked, and I gotta think of some better ideas for. Maybe, perhaps. But yeah, let me just really quickly do some stuff here. Yeah, I think that might be it today for today. I will throw this out there one more time, just because for those that may or may not know, we already have started the ball. We've already started the VTuber inspired breads. I've already made one for Minna, and I have made it very nicely. It's a pretty good bread. I think it represents her very well. So there is, bread that if you want to try to make of a tuber, there's that. Sorry, had a yawn there. My brain's getting really tired. Okay, well, just to throw it out there once more, check this description of the YouTube stream or video or whatever you're watching this on YouTube. No, it was a yawn, but thank you. And if you're on Twitch side, just go to the About and you'll see the booklet link to the Google Doc. So, there you go. These recipes will take time to make. Some of them might not even come out to the way I want them to. It is all something that will happen in due time as we speak. But yeah, that is enough for today's stream. My brain, my noodle has been very, very tired. Oh, bless you anyways. Thank you, I guess. Alright, Q. Alright, Mihan. I need you guys to go. Thank you for giving me your moral support. I appreciate you too, as always. Alright, let me take a little look-see here. Let me see who we can possibly read into. Is there anyone we can read into on YouTube side? I mean, there's two people I could go. One of two people I could go raid into. Let me just see if there is someone I can. If I can raid into them, I will do that. I cannot. Alright, we're not raiding anyone on YouTube side. Sorry, it is what it is. On Twitch side. We could raid into this last. Possibly not. Oh, wait. An artist. There is an artist we can go raid into. I can let you guys go watch an artist. They're a good artist. I need to probably commission them again when I get money. Yeah. I don't know. I'm so indecisive. Like, who do I want to go raid into? My favorite thing when it comes to VTubing. Oh, the other streams where I have to go find someone to go raid. Alright, you know what? Hold on. We're gonna take a second here, lads. We're gonna take a second to go look through the VTuber page. Who do we want to go raid into? Anyone spotting with an eye? Actually, I don't think I'll be able to. Here, let me just let me see if I can. Cause I know I can't usually. Oh, let's see. Oh wait, we can. All right, never mind. Okay, back it up. All right. That's funny. Usually I can't ever raid into her, but we will try and we will raid into Saltea. No association with her. It's just kind of funny. I think I met her once upon a time, and we just ever so happened to have the same kind of name, and I followed them because it's silly. So, yeah. On Twitch side, we are gonna go raid Saltea. On YouTube side, we are just ending it off right here, right now. So thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, morning, evening, time zone, wherever you are from. Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening. I already said that already, but I hope you have a good one. Keep an eye out when we might stream next. It might be this Friday. It might be tomorrow. I'm not sure, honestly. But keep an eye out. I will see you all around some other time. Have a good rest of your day. I'm running out of things to say. My brain is tired, but have a good one. Thank you all for tuning in today. Saltea Kichee, everyone. And ciao.